Hey, it's Let Me See Your Transcript.
Roxanne.
And it is Ladies' Night. Ladies' Night. And it's feeling right. Oh, yes,
Oh,
it's
yes, it's
Ladies' Night.
ladies' night.
Oh,
Oh,
what a night.
what a night. Oh,
Oh, what a
what a
night.
night.
Okay, Roxanne, we're going to get in unison one of these days. Hey, Mary, Ferg, hey, Dee Dee. How y'all doing? We are gonna talk about it tonight. I know in my last slide when I was testing my new LED lights, I talked about then 30 minutes we're gonna be talking about this subject. And I said that on my community wall, you will see excerpts from a book that I've been reading on this subject called Sex and the Church Girl by Tracy Gidgets, whose author is a very short book of essays of women talking about their sexual experiences and how the church formed, informed, and sometimes misinformed them about that. I put an excerpts on my Instagram and also on my community wall, so you can see some of the excerpts that are on there because I really thought they really spoke to me today. If you want a paperback version, it's like $9.72. But for a Kindle version, it's actually $5.99. So I went and bought the Kindle version today, and I've been reading it. It has about 12 essays, short essays, because it's 97 pages. It's very short. And I thought it would be great for what we're talking about tonight. Hey, Medina. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Christine. Thank you. Please hit the like button on the way in.
Hey,
Okay.
ladies. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, now they can see us. Wakanda. So, yeah. So, like I said earlier, if you have teenage women and you think this is something they need to hear, please bring them in. If you're not quite ready to have that conversation with them yet, then they need to be in another room. If the men are listening, we need y'all to listen for a little bit before responding. Because women, we need to talk. This is a safe space, and we're talking about a very serious issue to each other that is still is affecting us in our everyday lives. And that's why I put on the thumbnail the church, Black church, and across it said virginity until marriage, because that is what they are constantly teaching and reinforcing. But that is not always what the children that they're teaching do. That's not even what some of the adults are doing. And so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it tonight. So, anything to add, Roxanne?
I can't wait.
I see you so enthusiastic, Roxanne. Hey, Monie No Love.
Medina just told me I was looking rather thin today.
Oh, that is so sweet, Medina.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh,
I just feel so good today.
yes.
She didn't see my neck.
Wait, stop showing your neck. What is on your shirt? What does your shirt say? Give a girl
the right shoes and she can conquer the world, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's true. That is so true. Okay. So what do we start? Well, okay, I guess I'll go. Okay, I'll go. I guess you could say I was a late bloomer. I had that message, wait until you get married, wait until you get married. But then my aunt, which I'm thinking some of you probably had aunts like mine, who kept it real with you. And so she kept saying, I kept saying, yeah, keep your legs closed. Yeah, keep your legs closed. Make sure your skirt is down. Make sure something's covered, not too tight clothes. You don't want to tempt men. I had a great aunt who told me that I was tempting the men with my outfits. Then my aunt told me, I said, I think you should, keep saying we should wait until I get married. My aunt was like, no, not really. Because you need to see whether or not, my aunt was very, keep it real, said, you need to find out whether or not y'all compatible, because you don't want to get married and find out he has his penis in the pit of your stomach.
Or you can't feel it.
Or you can't feel it. So, yeah. And so that was from the aunt who was being real, but not, saying what the church said. I even tried, I guess I was 24. Like I said, I was a late bloomer, but me and my husband didn't work out. And after that, I just very, sometimes casual, sometimes the boyfriend, most of the time, sometimes the boyfriend, depending on like if it was my whole phase or my monogamous phase, Yeah, me too, Monie No Love. I wanted to wait, but it just didn't. My mom laughed at me saying you don't, but a car, then you don't buy a car without taking it for a test drive. So your mom was real like my aunt, So, but even growing up, you still had girls in the church who were getting that same message as you, and some of them ended up pregnant. But nothing was said in their face, but definitely things were said behind their back. I remember one time, and I think it's very different from men, I think, because I remember my aunt telling me, she said, this other young boy, teenage boy, he was flirting with the girls. And so sometimes I think he'd be very flirtatious with them, touch them on the shoulder, or I think maybe even on their butt. It's the church now. And so she told his mother to say, hey, your son is doing this and doing that. I think you need to tell him to stop doing it. The mom said, and I quote, oh, this is boys being boys. But at the same time, you're telling the girls to sit down, keep your legs closed, and not be wearing tight clothes.
And not telling your sons the same thing.
You're not telling your son the same thing. And guess what happened to that young man? He ended up being a teenage father. Not just of one child, several, even into his 20s.
Wow.
And then his mother wanted to come to my aunt complaining about him. Like, look at him with all these kids. What am I gonna do with him, sister, whatever? My aunt said,
what?
Boys will be boys. He threw right back at her what she told her. I said, Eddie, no, you didn't. She said, yeah, what was she telling me for? When I tried to tell her what he was doing, you telling me, it's boys will be boys. Now you complaining because he got all these damn children. Well, guess what? I guess boys will be boys.
Just like you said, yeah.
Yeah, definitely double standard. Hey, Rex. Hey, Mad Church Disease. Yeah, she does look awesome, doesn't she?
Thank you, Mad Church Disease.
She said you gotta help her find a light that takes 30 pounds off, though.
Make me look thinner. What are you?
Yes, they definitely are.
What did I teach you about sex?
Use a condom.
That's it.
You attempted to make me to teach me to wait until marriage.
Oh, I attempted to tell. He said I attempted to tell him to wait for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen.
But he says that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Well, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
You're the one posing, trying to ask me stuff.
That's our topic tonight. Well,
did I do good?
You did good.
Did I make you proud?
You made me proud.
Yes,
Good.
you did.
Okay. Can you close my door, please? Thank you. Love you too. So with my kids,
and you told your daughter that too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, those three. The older, he's like an only child, so he's much different.
Mm-hmm.
I told him to wait. It's okay. He doesn't have to have sex because he's never had sex, and I could tell that he was like feeling like some kind of way because I'm 19, 20 years old and I ain't never had sex. So I said, well, Justice, it's okay if you're a guy and you don't have sex yet. What you really want to strive for is to not have sex until you're married. But I got to go back and fix that. But anyway, with the other three, I was very open, always had a running conversation.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing to be ashamed of. The only thing that I asked, and I took them to have their HIV test done. They got to meet somebody with HIV. He talked to them about rubbers, and I always reinforce. My kids were so comfortable with sex that the twin got a razor bump down here, and he just walked up and ripped it out to me and said, "Mom, what is this?" I said, before you pull that out, you need to warn me first. But that's just how comfortable they were with sex. Yeah. And my daughter didn't have sex until she went away to college, but she lied. She lied on her pussy.
What?
Because everybody else had sex. Her little cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So she lied to us and told us that she ain't had no damn sex.
Oh, because she was, and see, that's what one of the girls in the one of the ladies in the book talked about, trying to pretend that you had sex, but you really didn't.
Fit in. Mm-hmm.
To fit in.
That's what, and she gets mad when I talk about it because I just think it's hilarious that she would think, why would you, and then I stop, I was like, why would you think that you have to lie about it? I would prefer that you wait. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And Lord have mercy, when she did it,
oh goodness,
she almost drove me crazy. I think I might be pregnant. You have to buy me some pregnancy tests. Go get me a pregnancy test now, Mom. Get 2. Y'all know I ended up buying 4 goddamn. I said, you know what? I done had to buy 4 pregnancy tests. You use protection. You're on birth control. At this point, what that says to me is you're not ready to have sex.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to dial it back and wait some more. And she did. But that was the worst thing. Oh my God. Death. She was so afraid. And she was in college, so afraid she's going to be pregnant.
Actually, this is what my mother and my aunt did, because my aunt was a realist. My mother was like, whatever, I never spoke of sex with my mother. We never had that conversation. It was still the same thing. The message in the church, because she went to a holiness church. My aunt went to a Baptist church. I got the same message about, wait until marriage. And the holiness church was even more. It's like women didn't wear pants and you didn't wear lipstick and rouge and all that kind of, because that was, a no.
Wow.
And with the ironically thing though, women could be ministers in the holiness church. My mom's pastor was a woman, so it was just like, okay, you can't wear makeup, but you can be the preacher in church. So it was like, okay, you couldn't wear pants, but you can be an evangelist or overseer, or you know what I'm saying. So I had that, and then so before I went to college, my mom, well, actually, it was more not my mom. My aunt had me get on birth control because she was like, she heard about another lady who was a beautician at the time. She said she did everything she could to get her daughter to college, but then her daughter got pregnant at college and came back pregnant and had to like drop out. And so that was a concern of my family because I was like number 4 in my class. I was going like 90 miles away. And so they're like, okay, we need to get you some birth control. So I got on the Depo-Provera, and then it was every 3 months you got a shot. And it worked. I had it. And even when it was time, I would go to the clinic on campus and get the shot. One time my aunt got scared though, and I didn't get it in time, and so they gave me a pregnancy test before they can give you the shot. And I told my aunt, she was like, I was just praying it was negative. And my head was like, but I didn't have sex though. But she's probably not gonna believe me. But yeah, so and I did have classmates who were young moms, who were young, and still going to school. I had high school students who I found out later on, a year or two after high school, they had children. Like I just had one friend, like we're both the same age, and she was like, yeah, my oldest is going off to college. And I'm like, who's going off to college? We graduated the same year.
We had one in junior high school.
Oh, yeah, I had some in junior high school too.
7th, 8th grade.
I had my son until 32. My brother really didn't. So she said to her, when you get your menstrual, you can get pregnant. She had me at 16. Oh, wow.
Well, my teenage
years. Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I had a officer that I used to work with. She thought the same thing, that when she was, and the whole school laughed at her, and they still, like when they have their reunions, they all still laugh about the fact that she was in high school and thought that she could get pregnant for kissing. And she went home and told her aunt that she was pregnant. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Dee Dee says she's a twin as well.
Oh, Dee Dee's a twin? Was she have a twin sister or brother?
She said, I have a twin. Dee Dee says I have a twin brother.
Oh, okay.
Like and then Betty says my brother and sister are twins. Okay. Hey, Tanika Shanette.
That's the one that'll have a twin.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I had, classmates in high school, the same thing. But a lot of them were not church kids. And I had a few who were, I think I had one I remembered had, was a teen mom. But this is the thing, like growing up, I guess because we were the young X generation, and AIDS was like a really big, a lot of people were getting AIDS. So even, I guess from middle school to high school, even into college, I always was in some type of health or sex ed class, and they were telling us about STDs, or there was a speaker talking about us, okay, y'all gonna have sex, use condoms. So it was like actually the school actually informed me more than the church did.
And I used to tell my kids that all the time. There's no reason for you to get somebody pregnant or be pregnant, because at the very least you should always be using a condom. There's no excuse.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And then, like, when the sex ed class, or when you go to the Planned Parenthood or the health clinic, they all have condoms. You know what would happen if churches gave out condoms too? Probably a lot less teen pregnancies. Probably a lot less STIs. But then again, someone probably, oh no, you're promoting fornication. Okay.
Well, I used to buy condoms for my friends in high school.
That was
Believe
good.
it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because no, it wasn't.
Why?
They scared to go buy condoms. Who's scared to go buy condoms?
Oh, I just thought you were just
Stupid.
buying them because, like, you were older than them and you went to buy them condoms.
No, they were scared to buy condoms, embarrassed.
But they still got them, right?
They did.
So when you okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tanika Shanette says she wants to come on.
Come on, Tanika.
Okay, let me post the. While she's coming up, I'm gonna say, like I said, I had a whole phase, monogamous phase. I also had a phase where I thought, hey, I'm gonna reset it all and be a virgin again for the second time. And I actually went through a ceremony. That ceremony didn't do shit for me. And I really was wholeheartedly like thought I was gonna do it, but I don't think the class or what they were teaching prepared me. I think I should have had like either a much longer ceremony or some something, because it was like, oh, I'm going to the church and I'm gonna be pure. And then it was no follow up, like, hey, so how are you keeping from temptation?
Okay.
Like, no. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was off the chain. I was that girl because I was molested as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you think that sex is the way that you find love. That's what love is.
Mm-hmm.
Jan, I was fucking when we were 14 and 15 years old. It's a wonder I didn't get pregnant. But yeah, we were terrible.
And when you were 14 and 15,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you were not using condoms.
Sometimes.
But Dina, stop. I need another baptism. Probably.
She said the program didn't work.
The program doesn't work.
That was funny. Hey, Tanika Shanette.
Hey, Tanika Shanette, the plus size doll.
What y'all talking about? Girl, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
These old church folks was something.
Can you get closer to your mic?
Can you hear me better now? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. These old church folks are something serious, girl. How about you don't find out till somebody dies and you read the obituary and it's like one woman has kids with her best friend's husband. And all this time when like young girls that were our age, when we were coming up, if we got pregnant, we had to go stand in front of the church and ask the church to forgive us. But then when your husband died and they list all the kids, every deaconess got 2 or 3 kids with two of the other deacons. I don't.
Oh my goodness!
I would not be getting in front of nobody's church, telling nobody's church nothing. Because I know that they heathens too.
Yes, they would make girls get in front of the church. Like they couldn't sing in a choir or anything. They had to come before the church and ask for forgiveness or whatever. And
what about the boy that got her pregnant?
Girl, they ain't do nothing. It was all the focus was on the girls. And I had this. Wait a minute, I think I'm hearing back. Oh, because my TV playing. I was like, I hear myself twice. Okay. But yeah, we would have like what they call like youth meetings where
Mm-hmm.
we had like a lady youth director or whatever, and she would talk to us and tell us things about sex, and she actually worked at the health clinic. Nonetheless, a lot of girls felt like they could confide in her. How about every time somebody told her something, the next Sunday they would get up, before you go get in the choir, we need to talk to you. And then they'd make these girls go down for altar call for prayer, and then they
Uh,
sit down until they talk to their parents and come before the church before they can even participate in anything else again. Just
oh
No,
my
she
goodness.
didn't.
yeah,
Uh-uh.
horrible. And all of them know they done laid up with each other's husbands and stuff. And I was wondering why all those men with the good hair all looked alike. And all,
Mm-hmm.
yes, they mustn't have nothing
Oh,
else.
that's so horrible, Natisha. Your mother shouldn't have been treated like that.
To do. Oh my.
You couldn't wear red?
I never
Okay.
heard that. Oh my.
That's Michelle's. But my friend, I noticed I'm telling her business. Which I don't think she watches the show. She's actually Jehovah's Witness, and her sister had a child out of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and actually, divorced her. Well, she divorced her husband and got another relationship, and then had a child out of wedlock, and then she had to go before their congregation and confess. And
And,
actually, I read where other Jehovah's Witnesses says, yeah, that's very common. You confess in front of the whole congregation.
But they
well,
turn their back on you too, right?
They turn your back if you decide not to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. Your whole family is actually supposed to it's called dish fellowship.
yeah.
It's a form. It's like excommunication.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Wow.
It's
Mm.
crazy. It's like
They
this.
have that in the Church of Scientology too. Like if you're not a member of the church anymore, the church doesn't uh contact you, talk to you, and your members of your family are not supposed to either.
It's crazy. This stuff is like a cult or something, and it's
Mm-hmm.
until you get a little bit older and you're able to kind of understand a little bit better what's going on. How these people try to brainwash you and then make you feel like you're beneath them and that everything that you do is under scrutiny, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that would cause a lot of sneaking around and doing stuff that you had no business doing because you didn't have that. Like for instance, with my mom was not open with me as far as discussing sex. So everything that I learned from my friends. So with my girl,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
open with them because I don't want them to learn something the wrong way. If they're gonna learn under my wing, and at least I know if something happens, they can't say, "Mama, why you didn't tell me?" They'll never be able to fix their mouth.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
also too, it helps them or made them feel more comfortable. They don't have to lie to me
They
about
don't
what.
have to hide it.
Yeah, it's too much going on for me to think you gone and you had a sleepover with Jill and Jane, but more
Uh-huh.
have kidnapped you and you across the country, and I'm looking at Jill
Mm-hmm.
and Jane, and that's not even where you were at. So
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Dana.
I was so glad that I was able to. Now I talk to him about it so much. It's like, oh my God, here she comes with these. Like I just tell him flat out because, like I said, I had to learn on my own. There's a lot of things I really wish I could have went to my mom and asked. And now
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned it to her. She was like, "Well, why didn't you say something?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't know what to say, and I kind of felt like I would get in trouble." And I was the oldest, and then I just had one sister, and my sister was the one that tried my mama all the time. She had to see
Mm-hmm.
God in me. I was always like the designated driver for friends or the house that you can come over because the parent was so strict. But I was the
Mm-hmm.
worst one. Like, but she just did not. I was, girl. Look, one time me and Marcus went, and I'll never forget this. And this man, they go to our church, took this to his grave. Girl, we parked up behind this trailer house, getting it on, girl. And all of a sudden some lights came on and it was his rental property, but nobody like stayed there anymore. And I don't know what made him come around that corner. It was an old baseball field, and we always went there. Girl, he came around there and girl, So we come up with this story that we was over there trying to look for a key because we were gonna talk to him about using the place for a family reunion. We made up some kind of crazy lie, and I know he couldn't have believed us, but that man never told on us. But I was supposed to be at the movies, so me and Marcus got ready to go. Guess what? The car wouldn't crank. I said, Marcus, now my grandma lived like it wasn't within walking distance, but I said, Marcus, I cannot call my mom and dad and tell him we gotta go. So he tried to push the car. I was like, let's push it to my grandma's house, and then we get there. He had no energy. I just had wore him out. He had no energy. Baby, look, when I tell
where's your husband right now? Is he listening?
Girl, he in there in the front room. He probably gonna hear me in a little bit because we got.
Okay.
But look, girl, I got so much adrenaline knowing that my mom and dad was gonna whoop my butt. Marcus got on that wheel, baby. I pushed that car to my grandma's house.
Ooh.
And look, I said, okay, so we got to go in here, and we gonna say, oh, we saw your light on, and we just stopped by, and so that's what we did. And I said, then when we come back out, of course, the car not gonna crank, so we can say, oh man, let's call Daddy and tell him that we at my grandma's and the car won't crank. So, girl, we go in there and say, oh, we just saw your light on. We came from the movies or whatever, and my grandma was looking at me sideways, girl, and so. We said, oh, well, we ain't going to keep you late. It's almost 11. I was supposed to be home by 10:30. So we going to go on and go. We knew the car wasn't going to crank. So we go out there. And, of course, Marcus tried to crank the car. And all the time he kept looking at me. I'm like, act normal. You can't act like I know it's not going to crank. Just follow me. Like, follow my lead. So he tried to turn. And then, of course, it wouldn't crank. Yay! So let me go call my daddy. And then after I called my daddy and told him he was up there, my grandma said, come here. First off, turn your shirt on the right size. And don't you do no shit like this. She knew the whole time, but she never said anything. She never said it, but she knew my shirt was on backwards, girl, and everything. And I pushed
oh my god.
And then came up with a story. And knowing my car wasn't gonna crank, but I didn't get no whooping that night. Well, not that kind of whooping anyway.
She told you to turn your Lord have mercy.
At first, turn your shades up. I'm sorry. If I was your grandmother, that's the kind I would be. Because I'd be like, your daddy's gonna whoop your ass. Let me help you out for you. When you come over here.
Don't you do shit like that no more either. Girl.
That's just like Jay. We almost got caught. He got his shoes on the wrong feet.
Oh my god.
Retarded ass. Retarded ass.
Girl, when you gonna get in trouble, you just get energy from nowhere. Girl, Marcus couldn't move that car. I said, get over. Baby, I pushed that car.
What kind of car? I'm sorry. I know this is me. What kind of car was it?
Girl, it was a Mercury Topaz. It was a little car. It wasn't big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we got it.
The nigga over there being superwoman.
Girl, yes. I thought my mom was gonna hang me, girl.
Well, I'm glad your grandmother saw your shirt before they did.
I know.
Really? What was your grandpa there too?
Yeah, my grandpa was there. He was out there, girl, with the flashlight trying to help Marcus jump the car. Girl, I was just happy thinking everything.
Did Marcus have his clothes on correct?
Yeah, he had his on correct.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, girl, that was
wow. Yeah, so, you had some type of angels protecting you because like grandma didn't say nothing, that man didn't say nothing.
Virgin Garvin, I'll never forget him. I'll never forget him as long as I live.
Yeah. Yes, Christine, the wrong.
Rest in peace, Mr. Man. What did you say his name was?
Get off in case somebody else want to get on. I just had to come on and share that, y'all.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, get out of here, girl.
Hit the leave.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Anybody else got something they want to share?
Anybody else got a story? Where's Life is Lay? Where's she at? I know she probably got some stories.
Ooh.
Not the wrong feet.
Jacqueline said she thought she had just gained weight when she got pregnant. Ooh, Lord.
Oh. Wow. How did your mom and dad take it? Well, Jacqueline can come on if she wants. You got something you want to share, story to tell, you can come. Can come. I'm going where Willie's on the phone. Okay, Pastor, we understand.
I told my mother I was having twins, and she told me I was ruining my life.
No.
Acted a complete fool. I
Wait,
was
I thought
married.
you were an adult. We're like a young adult.
I was
Like 19, 20?
23. I had a federal job, so I made good money, my own place, and I was married.
Wow, that's...
I got so mad. I said, once they get here, you better not be sweating them either. Don't even look at them. And when they got here, she said, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
So when I got pregnant with Justice, she wouldn't open her mouth.
Oh.
I was 32 then.
Oh. I'm so sorry, Jacqueline.
I
had another friend, her mom did the same thing. Her mom was toxic as well. And when she got pregnant, she was in her 30s, but she wasn't married. Her mom said things like, "Oh, you're ruining your life. And it was like you're having your first child. Your mom says that to you. That's a horrible thing to say.
It is. On Mother's Day, I put the sonogram in her Mother's Day card.
Like, hey, you're gonna be a grandma. That should be it. Okay. Hey, Lynn.
Oh, 3 virgins over the age of 50.
Are they religious people, like a nun or a monk? Are they married or not married? Because, well, I guess if you're married, you're not a virgin, unless you're in one of those weird things.
50-year-old virgin.
Hey, Monie, can you come on? Hey, Monie, can you come on up and tell us about that person you said you knew that doesn't want to have sex with her husband unless they're trying to get pregnant?
Do y'all remember the person that auctioned off her virginity to the highest bidder?
Awesome.
That was a thing.
Yeah, they are. Wait, I didn't even tell my mom I was 24. My sister finally told her. Your sister told your mama that you were having sex? Why is your sister telling your mama? Yeah, pastors and deacons' children did it. Yep. Well, I guess if it's gonna be your first time, you might as well get some money or something out of it. All I got out of mine was ex-husband, so that's it.
All you got was what?
The ex-husband. Oh, know that you were pregnant. Oh, okay.
But do you know that those people who set up marriages for their children, their marriages actually last longer than ours do?
Is it because they're good at picking people for their children, or is it because of social pressure?
It's because it's a contract between two families. It's not even about the two. The two kids really are just the kids. But the two families come together and come up with a contract that each person has to abide by.
Okay.
And a lot of times they don't love each other when they get married, but they grow to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And their marriages seem to last longer. The question
Hey,
is,
Monie No Love.
would you
Hey,
allow?
y'all, can you hear me?
Oh, hey, Monie.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good. So you want to hear about my friend?
Yeah,
She
you
was
had
raised.
you had
Yes,
mentioned them in the other chat from the other day, and I was like, what?
yeah. She was raised. Her mom was very prudish, which I don't understand because her mama got 5 kids.
Mm.
So I was like, well, you were doing something. You got 5 kids, but I knew something was up at her bridal shower because she got, there's a bridal shower. Somebody's going to give you some awkward gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anything that was sexual, her mother was sitting there and was like, put that away, put that away, put that away.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's all women and this is a bridal shower, but okay. So then when she came back from her honeymoon, I knew that she was kind of traumatized because I'm glad she don't watch this stuff, but
she had no idea.
So clearly her mother or her sisters, no one had a talk with her about the wedding night. She wasn't a virgin when she got married, but the first thing she said was, oh my God, nobody told me about the wet spot. I'm like, what?
Oh, shit.
She said, and then what was that goo? I said, what are you talking about? It was the first time she'd had unprotected sex. So she didn't know what goes up must come down.
Yeah.
Basically, she didn't know that would happen to her.
Okay, so let me ask. They didn't have sex ed or health classes?
We went to Catholic school, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
they don't.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then, unfortunately, she suffered a few miscarriages and she found out that she could get pregnant, but she couldn't stay pregnant.
Oh, no.
So that was very traumatizing for her as well. And then they ended up adopting children, so they do have children, but her husband would confide in me and be like, yeah, she don't want to do anything. I'm like, what do you mean? So I would talk to her. Sometimes I would talk to her about the stuff I was doing, and she would just have this look on her face. And I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, well, I don't feel the need to have sex with my husband anymore. I said, why? She said, well, I can't have kids, so what's the point? And then
that's kind of selfish.
Yeah. But then she had a toy party and she was buying all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you buying that stuff? I thought you weren't doing anything. She's like, well, I'd rather use these. I said, but you got a whole man right there next to you every night and you rather use a toy? And she said, well, sex is overrated. I was like, wait a minute. Let me ask you something.
Right.
And that's what I said. I said, let me ask you something. I said, have you ever had an orgasm? She's like, I don't know. I said, yeah, if you gotta tell me you don't know, you never have. That's the problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just her upbringing and she didn't have anybody to talk to. And her mom just being very prudish, which I don't understand because, like I said, she got 5 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But her mother could have told her, well, that's the function of women. Like you have sex to your husband gets pleasure or what? I don't know. I don't know. She probably told her daughter something.
I'm surprised they're still married.
Yeah, I'm surprised. 15 years later, yeah, they're still married.
Have you suggested counseling?
I have suggested everything. I have suggested counseling. I've suggested they go on trips. There was even one day before the kids came. She told me they were going away for a weekend, and I was like, all right, well, let's go shopping. And she's looking at these flannel grandma pajamas, and I'm like, what are you doing? I said, aren't you going away for the weekend with your husband? She's like, yeah. I said, what are you doing with that? She's like, well, what am I supposed to get? So I took her to the other side of the store and was like, here, buy this. Oh, he doesn't. No. I said, that's your mother. That's your mother's influence.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I wonder if he's getting it somewhere else.
No, because he tells me everything. He confides in me. And he said he would never. He's a good guy. And he's like, no, I love her. That's my wife. And I would never cheat on her. And I'm like, you better than me.
He really is. Has he tried to like initiate it with her? And she just like, no, leave me alone?
You can't do that if you don't sleep in the same room.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So who is sleeping in the main bedroom? The
He
master bedroom. And so where she sleep at?
On the couch.
Are you kidding?
By choice. She chooses.
Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. We get to pray for her.
That would be a deal breaker for me unless he's sick. Unless he's sick, that would be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I'm not going to live like that.
I tell him all the time, you're a good man, because I don't know too many that would put up with what you put up with, but
I wouldn't.
To each his own, I guess. Me either. But
that's what I'm wondering about too. Does her husband know how to do foreplay?
I don't know if she would even be open to anything like that. She's very, like, there's some times that I've talked to her about things and she kind of like makes a face like she doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to talk about it.
Do you know if she's ever been molested or raped?
I don't think so. She's never said anything. We've been friends for almost 30 years and she's never said anything like that. She's never mentioned anything.
She'll get pregnant. Is what I think.
She'll lose it. Yeah.
Right. Well, it could be, but there's ways to not get pregnant. I mean, you know, she could still be on birth control, but
poor guy.
Yeah.
Lord,
so that's the story.
I want to pray for them. I just. Because I'm thinking also, if she's had gotten pregnant and had several miscarriages, that probably is also playing a part too.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing that was traumatic for her.
Mm-hmm.
But not that it would really make any difference. But my family's from the islands, so we still have those old wives' tales, and I kept telling her, you need to stop telling everybody you're pregnant just after you take a test. You got to wait. Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
You get pregnant and you think you're pregnant, you take a test that's positive. The only person you should be telling is your husband. Don't say anything to anybody else.
Yeah.
You wait till you get through that first trimester and then you tell people. Don't even tell me. Not even your mother. Just keep that between you, your doctor, and your husband.
Yeah, should really try. They should really try counseling, because there's something about
they really
a third person telling you
counseling herself.
Okay, this is gonna blow your mind. This is gonna blow both of your mind. Everybody in the chat, y'all gonna be mind blown.
Okay, Lord.
They were going to therapy, and the therapist broke up with them because she won't change.
So what that means is that he needs to move on, because it's just not going to work. She's not going to change.
Recently, we had a conversation about it, and I was like, look, it doesn't feel good to tell your friend that maybe they need to end their marriage. But I was like, you're basically spinning your wheels and this isn't going anywhere.
Well, you don't say that. What you ask him is, why does he feel like that this is that he doesn't deserve better?
Mm-hmm.
And why does he feel like this is the best he can do? Those are the questions you ask.
I did. And honestly, what he's mostly worried about is how much it will cost him financially. And I said, well, you need to stop putting a price tag on your peace of mind.
And your happiness.
Why do you say that, Dee Dee? Or are you being sarcastic?
So that was the story of
Have
my
they
friend.
tried another therapist?
Yeah, she quit both of them.
Yeah,
The therapist quit.
It was two? It was no. I'm saying, have they tried another therapist?
I know that they went to one. They were going separately, and then they were going together as a couple.
Was this Christian counselor?
No.
Okay.
No.
Was it a marriage counselor or a sex counselor? Sex therapist counselor?
No, I think this was like the psychologist, family therapist. But the last time he and I had a really long conversation, I said, maybe you need to go to a family therapist with the four of you. Him, his wife, and the two kids. Because the kids are not babies now. They're old enough where they can express themselves.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean they're older now? How old are the kids?
I think they're 10 and 8.
Oh, so he would still have to pay child support, maybe alimony. Wow. I wouldn't wait those 10 years out.
Wow.
I'd be gone.
No, I wasn't feeling overwhelmed because I have training in pastoral care. So, but I told him the next time he calls me, my services are no longer free. I'm going to charge you.
Kayla Shay Divine.
So I'll get off and let give someone else a chance to come on. It was good talking to y'all.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for
I'll see y'all in the chat. You're welcome.
All right. Bye. Oh wow. She needs personal counseling just for herself, but someone that's dealing with someone who's lost a child from a miscarriage, like that needs to be addressed. I think that is the root, and also from there, whatever happened with her childhood. Because I think what we're all kind of saying from all these experiences is the church made us view sex as it's only good if it's married, if it's inside of a marriage, and it made us feel very self-conscious about our bodies. Whereas they don't do that with the men; they just do it with us. That's a good question too. Monie No Love. Monie No Love. How does the daughter? Do you see your friend passing it on to the daughter?
Well, the daughter's not going to know that her parents aren't having sex.
Well, if her mama's on the couch every night.
Yeah, no, that may be true. They're not seeing a healthy marriage. That's true. That's true. Wow.
But hopefully, I guess Monie No Love will be the good aunt that will tell the kids, tell the girls what, the truth. Tanique, what? So back to the dude at church growing up, they made copies of all the girls he slept with at the church's
asses on a copy machine and had a book he kept. Oh my God.
Oh my.
I would think having a miscarriage is a very horrific thing, because you're expecting this new bundle of joy, then you go to the hospital, you're sick, you go through all of that, and then just to come home and you don't have anything. I'm sure that that's probably traumatic. I would think it would be very traumatic.
Wait. She said her daughter has some mental health issues, so it's difficult. Oh. Also, if we've always kind of like by society in the church that our function is, oh, when we have sex, we help bring forth life that replenishes, populates the earth. I mean, that probably is going to have an effect on her. Tanika Shannette, who is this man? A boy. And he was showing people the book.
But come on, they have to be dumb enough to get up there to take the picture for him. I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't take naked pictures.
Well, it depends. I'm gonna be quiet.
No, I'm not taking naked pictures, especially if
you can take it without your face being shown.
No.
It means that being a pastor daughter, I was a virgin until I married. Divorced to the Lord. Okay, Miss MSW, can you come up and talk to us? Cause we need. If you don't mind,
I just want to know what you thought after the first
what you
night.
doing? Like, yeah, I just need to know. Yeah.
Were you looking?
Oh, they had to clean. What happened? Can you come talk to us? Cause it's like you're kind of like living the ideal of what all the women were supposed to do. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing to Tisha. Like, and then that copy got to be clean. That glass got to be clean. That's just nasty.
And you know what? Hopefully she can compare her first one to something else and then tell us if she would have wanted to try it out first.
Lachey, was anyone pro abstinence before marriage tonight so far? We all were raised that, Lachey. It just didn't always happen that way. Were you pro abstinence, Lachey?
Hell no.
I just put the link in. Let me put it in again, Miss MSW.
Christine, I'm sorry.
I bet you that machine was smell nasty. Lachey, everybody was kind of like, well, they were raised pro abstinence. I ain't say. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of us here did. We were taught it, but it didn't happen that way. This is just like LOL. And see, she's coming from a different experience. She was a pastor's daughter. I was raised that way, but I didn't remain. But now I totally agree. I don't think it's worth it. Wait, what do you mean you don't think it's worth it? To be abstinent before marriage? Or you think you should have waited? Look, Natisha saying he probably is in the bushes saying that. Hey, Miss.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I was just listening, and it's so much being a preacher's daughter, and you had to follow.
Sorry, I took my own self out the live.
Yes,
Hey,
Go
Miss
ahead.
NSW.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yes, and I was getting ready to get married, and I was a virgin until then, but we dated for like 6 months and then got married.
What did
And
you
then
think the first night? What was?
we were both tired. So, but the second night I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it.
Oh wow.
Did he know what to do?
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But I was so scared. And being that I was raised by my dad, my mom passed at age 40. And so I didn't have that motherly advice that I needed growing up. And so next thing I know, I was, fell in love and got married. But I was still, unsure about everything that was going on.
But did you come to enjoy it?
Eventually, the first time I didn't. But eventually, he took his time and explained things that were going on. I'm sorry about that, the TV.
Oh, well, that was good.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, so we stayed married for about 11 years. And then when we got divorced, I tried to date a little bit, but I met one guy and I had this feeling he was looking at my daughters. That kind of shied me away from wanting to really date again. And I remained to myself and remained protected of my daughters.
How old are your kids?
Right now they're 18 and 20. But back then we divorced. They were like 3 and 5.
Oh.
And so I just became
ready to leave now. So are you going to start dating again?
I think I am. I was just talking to my friend about that. It's just time to get out and party.
Yes.
It is time.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, I done missed everything, but now I don't know how to date. Who's supposed to ask the first question? Or
supposed to come back here and ask us.
They're like Roxanne was telling me, she's like, there are online dating websites, and they do have some that are specific for your age group, so you don't have to go through people who are younger. Like you said, you've had experience before, you raised your kids, so now you're just looking for someone to have fun with, companionship, and who can still, let me ask this question: do you want to have sex?
Yeah, exactly. I do. And now I'm retired. I worked as a pharmacist for almost 20 years. And now I'm retired from that. The kids, they're doing good. I don't have to worry about, anything that's going on right now. Just, want to get out and enjoy life. And travel. Something I didn't get a chance to do. But
but once this COVID is over with, that's or y'all both wearing masks.
Right. I told my daughters that I was going to go on a 90-day fiance and see what I can find.
We don't suggest that. No. But you know what would be nice? The senior citizens, that's where my husband and I are going.
Oh, really?
We're going on a cruise with the senior citizens because the senior citizens are off the chain and can pretty much drink a person under the table. They can party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to be.
That would be a good idea. This sounds like a reality show we can do.
You'll meet different people from all over the place.
I just want to travel. I want to go to Dubai and just anywhere, Europe, just overseas somewhere. I'm stay away from my Omar Johnson. Definitely.
What you say about Omar?
I'm gonna stay away from him.
Good.
Yes, please stay away from him.
Yeah,
Stay away.
stay away. Far
And
away.
Kimberly has some videos on narcissists.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be a good place to start. You want to study the narcissists. Kimberly has some videos. There's some videos on YouTube about narcissists. It's very informing. A lot of good information there. You want to stay away from them now too, and for some reason they're more prevalent now, I think.
My ex-husband, very narcissistic. And
okay, so you know then. Okay.
Yeah, he's very narcissistic, but
is that why you divorced him?
I'm sorry?
Is that why you divorced him?
Somewhat. I divorced him because we had a difference of opinion as far as working. He worked a lot of nights, and the babies were small, and I needed him at home with me during the day, because the next day I would be going to work and be up all night with the babies. But he decided that he wanted to do a night shift. He's a police officer. And when he does his police work, he brings home numbers that I have no clue who they belong to. And it kept going on for a couple of years to where it was just time to go. And when we divorced, my youngest was 1 and my oldest was 3.
Ugh.
So I saw that I wasn't going to get any help. And I had to take that situation and, get where I can get some help and still try to take care of the children. And so, but it's been, it's been okay now. I don't have to, too much worry about that anymore. With them being older.
Have some fun.
What's that again?
It's time for you to get out and have some fun.
Yeah, it's time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna let y'all know when I do.
Yes.
You can ask us questions. And no question is stupid. No question is stupid. Please ask the question.
But my daughter, my youngest, my 18-year-old, she told me to stay off TikTok. No twerking on TikTok.
Yeah.
No doing anything. No showing anything on TikTok.
Yeah, they don't like to think that their mommy
so she can be on TikTok.
Yeah, they don't think their mommy should be sexy. My kids are the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, but they, it's okay. I thank God though, because everything is, going okay, and just a blessing to be here. And it's a blessing to listen to you all and give you all the advice that you give us. It really helps. It really does.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Well, take your time and we'll be waiting for the questions.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, guys.
All right. You're very welcome, Miss W.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow.
Mary, let me tell you.
He wanna go out at night, come back with numbers.
The way they dating now is first sex on the first date, and it's almost expected. I'm like, ugh.
A lot of friends, and some of these wedding websites, it's you have like, is it casual dating, getting to know you, long term, and then there's the option friends with benefits. Like, okay,
I don't even know if I like you yet. So why? Why would I have sex with you? I don't even know if I like you yet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, your daughter told you to stay off TikTok? Bella says I talk to my daughter about being sexual, and they're like, ew. Okay. Not mine. My girls be like, look at mama get it.
I don't understand why my kids don't think I can be sexual.
Hey, Sandra.
When that was our main conversation growing up. You know, when we talked about sex, so why, if I taught you what you knew, why you think I don't? That's just crazy to me.
Now, to be honest, in my whole phase, I didn't always give it up on the first date, but there was some where, just saying. And it's some that were friends with benefits. Some that were just one night stand, and that was it.
I had one guy tell me, I don't have to put up with this. Well, why are you upset? You said it's not anything serious.
And
you set the rules. And when I play by the rules, then you have a problem. I don't have to put up with this. Get out. Okay.
Why he wanted you to spend the night or something, and you didn't want to?
Spend the night, talk, hug. I don't know. We funking. Then I'm going home.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk. Don't talk. Don't just.
Hey, Lachey.
No talking. Hey.
How are you doing?
Hey. I'm
How
doing
you feeling?
pretty good.
Hey, Lachey, can you sing a little something for them that they don't know about you? Lachey has a very good voice, y'all, and I heard her on another YouTube channel. I was like, Lachey can sing? What? She got hidden talents? Give us sing Ladies Night. Maybe I should have you be our opening intro. Go ahead, Lachey.
Sure. What should I sing? A little snippet of something.
Oh Lord, why can't I sing?
Well, I know when I was on another content creators the other day, I was singing. We were talking about Mariah Carey, and we was talking about how much I love her 90s stuff. So
yes,
excuse me, because I do just a little bit of that. Excuse me.
Okay.
I need to get one thing I learned is I need to be ready to sing at all times. Once you sing that one time, you never know when people are like, come on up and sing something. Okay,
yep.
You will always be a part of me. I'm part of you indefinitely. Boy, don't you know you can't escape me. Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. And we'll linger on. Time won't escape, but spirit is strong. The way you're never gonna shake me. 'Cause you'll always be my baby. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do down. Do-do-do down. Do-do-do-do down. Ain't gonna cry, no. I'm ready to stay. Y'all remember that one?
Yes! You better sing, girl.
That's good.
Lord.
That's good.
Well, thank you. But I realize now, but I have opened up this little can of singing. When I've gone up on one of the streams since then, the content creator's like, we want you to sing something. And I'm like, oh Lord, okay, now I know. I just need to be ready at all time. Anytime I click on somebody's link, let me just be ready to sing something just in case they, request something.
Yeah.
But thank you.
The next time there's a talent contest, I'm gonna come looking for you.
Oh, see.
So you can make that money, girl.
And put your
I appreciate
that in the chat.
Well, I would if it wasn't my doggone government name.
Oh, okay.
You know you can change that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
can.
need to. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do.
So you can get paid for your singing, girl. That was a good.
Well, thank you, and that's one of the things I've been kind of pushing myself to, do when I get the opportunity because I got some jitters to get rid of,
Mm-hmm.
and they should have been gone yesterday. So whenever I'm asked, I just go ahead and just give it a shot. I used to say, well, no, well, I don't know, or spend 25 minutes trying to think of a song, but now I'm just pushing myself to just go get it,
Mm-hmm.
and hey, don't worry about what comes out because the only way for me to get better is to go ahead and get the kinks out. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but speaking of singing, I sang in the choir growing up in church. I'm a church girl.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Uh-oh.
mom is a minister and all that and stuff. And I'm 38, so growing up it was a whole child purity this and purity that, and we went,
Wow.
I was in a youth group and we went to all kind of uh purity events but you know what? Just like many stories I hear, it wasn't really talked about, you know, like truly, honestly, and what's that word? Transparently in the church.
Mm-hmm.
So, next thing you know, people in the youth group popping up preggers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that happened because, and including my mom, they never really just talked to us about just sex. Period. What it is, I mean, the only thing we heard about sex is for marriage. That's it. And they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to beat us over the head with the Bible, pump us up with all kind of be holy songs and t-shirts that say be holy and pure,
Mm-hmm.
pure and rings and all kind of stuff. And just want to just beat us over the head with pure, 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 this and that. And thought that was gonna work, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And at least from my experience, the youth in the church, they having sex with each other. you a lot of
Wow.
times,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and I just, from my experience, I went out into the world just in general because my mom made my home just a completely different, quote unquote, Christian world. When I got out in the world and started going to public school and stuff, I wasn't exposed to anything. I didn't know what anything was. And for me, what that did was it made it a lot easier for me to get into certain traps that's hard to get out of once you step foot in there. And one of them was sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 38 now. So when I look back on it, um, I don't feel like if I didn't have sex at all that I would have been missing anything. Because for me, it just led to a whole lot of internal turmoil and a whole lot of um anxiety, like
Mm-hmm.
if I had sex with somebody the next day, all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, what is this? What is that? I feel like I'm feeling funny. And, it really was just in my mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also, when you're a Christian child growing up, um, if you do have sex, you're overcome with shame. So you
Yeah.
can't open up
Mm-hmm.
to anyone to talk about
Mm-hmm.
it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a trap from the devil. I do believe that sex is very much scientific, it's very biological. I believe God made us that way. And for me, I believe that a woman's sex is connected to her mind. I don't think men feel that way so much,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think, well, at least for me, when whoever the people I had sex with, for the most part, they had I feel like they had my soul. And it was very
Grown men feel
damaging for
that
Do you
way.
me.
think that was? Do you think that was because of how you were raised about sex? Even in the book that I was reading, "Sex in the Church Girl," one of the ladies said how sex or the lack of sex was taught to her And that as an adult, it was like, oh, that made me feel like when I did have sex, now all of a sudden I'm shamed. I'm thinking of these things. And it was like, now that she's older and she knows better, she understands, like, okay, sex is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing or a shameful thing. You do have to do it, with protection, but you should do it with someone that you are compatible with and who you are in a relationship with or who you love. Is and so I just kind of wonder if, like you said, you feel like it was like your soul was tied to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of
It's supposed to be. What do you?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Really, or is that something
Yes.
that man made up to make women feel bad about having sex? Like, oh, you got a soul tie with a person you had sex with. Really?
I think it's scientific. I think it's biological because in general, I feel like God made it for marriage. And so, a woman being tied to her soul with her husband is fine. But if she does it with someone who's not, who doesn't love her, the same thing is going to turn out scientifically, but now you're about it to somebody who doesn't love you. You know what I mean?
I believe soul ties. I believe that's a true thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for me, it caused a lot of damage, a lot of shame and stuff like that. And
but do you think it was because? Well, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you think you felt that way because you were told, like the rest of us said, because you missed the first part that we all said. Everyone said the same thing. We were told, keep your legs closed, don't put your dress down, and wait until you get married. But then when you got married or you didn't get married, it made you feel some kind of way because the church really didn't tell you what to do, like once you're married. Like if you didn't have a health or sex ed class in high school to teach you, like, okay, this is what your body's going to go through when you do it, then it's a whole other territory when you do have sex.
Yeah. Well, some of it I did feel some of the shame, but what affected me more was the broken relationships that I had with the person I was having sex with, either during the relationship or after or both. That affected me more, mainly because like people can't look at you and tell that you having sex. You know what I mean? That's something I can quote unquote hide. But I couldn't hide from having sex with someone that I was interested in or that I was with or wanted to be with or thought that it was a situationship or thought it was going to lead to a relationship, and then it doesn't, and then the feeling of regret and all kind of other just negative stuff. Like for me, that affected me way more negative way than, oh, what would my mom think, or oh Lord, because I knew God would forgive me. But in the Bible it says that sex is a sinning against your own body. And for me, my experience, I believe it. But I feel like I'm in the minority about that. Well, for me, it's true.
How old are you?
I'm 38. Yeah, and I've been abstinent for about, I think maybe like 4 years. And my last little thing, I had me a little young honey dip, and I knew it was a whole situationship, and I said all this whole thing about, I don't have to have feelings involved, because I knew that I didn't want him to be my husband, but we connected in many other ways. But I just, okay, this sounds funny coming out or saying this out loud, but I was gonna hurt him. You know what I mean?
No, I've been there, girl. You've been there. It was,
yeah, no, because I was saying all
case if I stay with him any longer.
Yeah. And even some other ones, before him, because it was like, oh yeah, I told myself I was gonna play this whole Sex in the City thing, and I'm old and he's younger, and I can tell the difference between this and that and blah blah blah. But child, If I call and you don't answer the phone or you playing some silly old time kind of games, I'm ready to get in my car. I'm ready to pull up on you. You know what I mean?
Goodness.
Seriously. And I said to myself one day, I said, you know what? This ain't working for me. And then also, I feel like we need to tell. I think we need to be a lot more blunt and what's the word I said again? Transparent with our girls and young women in church, and even just unmarried women about what sex is, because it's not necessary. It's not good all the time. I want to tell these young girls and these young
Yes,
women,
it's not good all the time.
child, everybody can't. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's not good. Many of these folks, it's not good. Don't nobody say that. Not
No
enough.
one says that. They make you like, oh, you're going to get married and it's your wedding night and y'all love each other. Y'all gonna no, it don't do that. And that's what the lady said in her second essay. She was like, I was over there repeating the same stuff that was told to me. Y'all need to wait till you get married. Wait till you get married. It was like, wait a minute, and it was like, wait a minute. I shouldn't be telling them that. They need to know the truth.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
was
would
saying that more
like
so.
Roxanne said, like, yeah, I would like for you to wait till you get married, but if you don't, this is how you use the condom. This is how you choose the right partner. This is, some men are small, some men are medium, some men are large. Some men like it from the back. Some men like to lick it. You have to be with someone that makes you comfortable. They also need to know that some types of sex, it needs to be consensual.
Well, wait a minute, y'all. I have to tell y'all about the lick it part.
Okay. Lord.
My daughter,
Okay.
when she came home the first time that she really did have sex, she said, I didn't like that very much. She said, but that licky, she said, that was so good, I might just crawl back around there and get some more.
See,
I said, you
it's
little whore.
biology. It's biology. Once your body, but I believe this. How I look at it is like this: once you have sex, your body thinks that you're married now. And I'm coming from a Christian perspective, because for me in my life, I had quote unquote strayed away, but I've returned back, and I believe in Jesus Christ and in the Bible and all that other stuff. So I know I'm kind of archaic to some people, but I believe that it works, and I think that it's one of the tools of the devil to get caught up in. Well, what if this? What if I don't know what to do before I get married? Well, what if my husband don't know what to do when I get married? Well, what if da 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 da? I think things will work itself out as long as you pick the right person that you get married with. Because if you love them and they love you, you want to please them, they want to please you, and you can talk to that person and y'all can get that thing together. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back in the chat. I'm so glad you had this conversation. I would have been here at 11, but I forgot.
No problem. You can catch the replay of that.
Right.
Okay,
ladies. Thanks so much. Back in the chat.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Lachey, for your words and for your song. We appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as saved as Lachey, because I do believe in Jesus. He's the Lord of my life. I do believe in God. But at the same time, like we said in the original title, holy on the outside, horny on the inside. And I think, I don't know, it's something that the book that I'm reading made a really good point, that studies have shown that people who waited until they got married, not all of them stayed married. Some women are finding out that like I said, their husbands are not satisfying them, or maybe they're sexually abusive. But they waited until they got married. If you look at, but then there are people who didn't wait, and then they found the right person, and they did get married, and they're still married. So, I don't know. I
I'm
guess,
too much of a sexual person to
yeah. I
to
just feel
to
like that too.
to
I just can't
marry
be lying to
somebody.
myself. I tried that one time; it didn't
Mm-mm.
work. Now, I
Yeah.
will say that I have been celibate the last 5 years, but that was because I wanted to concentrate on Kimberly. I didn't feel like dating anymore, and there was nobody I wanted to do it with. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
I wasn't ready yet, but I'm like Miss MSW. I'm ready, Miss MW50. I'm ready now. I'm ready to go.
Maybe you need to go on that cruise with her, with me and Jay.
But is it like a regular cruise, or is it like a married couples cruise? Yeah, there needs to be
Mm-mm.
a sexual education in churches, and not just saying, yeah, you can say our bodies are, vessel. It's this, it's that, but we need to be honest. I remember my aunt's Baptist church tried to have a conversation about sex, but none of the young people wanted to talk. But there was nothing what they said was anything about, okay, this is how you use a condom. This is what our bodies go through. This is what you need to talk to your parents about this. It was still reinforcing, don't have sex.
Well, and what kid wants to hear that when they know that
Yeah.
that's not the reality. That's not their reality. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
It's just not.
Jacqueline, that's what it needs to, yeah. Right, Medina. But then again, some people, uh, you think you're making love and they're just having sex. So, yeah, some don't know that. Thank you, Lachey, for not being judgmental. You know what? I used to feel the same way too, but then at other times I was not. I was still, I was still singing in the choir. I was still giving my offering to my tithes. I was still, I was still abiding by the commandments. It's just that fornication, um, in the Bible does say flee fornication. It's in the New Testament, but it's not a commandment. Commandment says thou shalt not commit adultery. So it means married people should not be having sex with other people outside of their marriage. It didn't say anything about single people. So
Well, nobody's perfect.
it is kind of,
So,
well, Natisha, yes and no. It is a lot going on now because we got COVID on top of STDs. So yeah, you can possibly get an STD pregnant or have COVID. So yeah, but the thing is, are you having safe, consensual sex with someone? That's the thing. I've been sober for 4 years, so I don't even remember what I feel like. Are you kidding? Are you serious, Money Love? Money No Love? I guess this is the year me, you, and MW50, we had to break our celibacy. But the playing field is uneven in premarital sex work to tell our girls that. And you have, and they need to know, we mentioned this earlier too, Lachey Divine, that the way the talk of how women are treated, how girls are treated in church is uneven too. The boys are not being told to keep their legs closed. Are they? Mad church disease. You in the chat. What were you told in church? Okay, mad church disease. That's kind of, interesting because some people can say, well, you don't need a ring and a piece of paper to get married. And that's how some people try to get married. But that's a whole nother conversation. We don't have time for that. Miss MW50, or what? Are you for real? You joking? Have you been talking to Darren? Oh my goodness. No, they didn't. And did you spit that Bible? Did you spit that verse from the Bible back at them? Make them feel bad about. So y'all, I would have said, well, y'all told me to flee fornication, like Saint Paul says in the Bible. Now you over here gossiping I'm a lesbian. That's some messed up stuff. It's like women are damned if they do, damned if they don't. Okay, men were told to live holy also. But mad church disease, when boys had sex or doing things sexual in your church, how are they treated versus the girls, let's say, who got pregnant or who we saw the evidence of them having sex? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Saint Paul, and tell me if I'm wrong, Mad Atrocity. Saint Paul was from a group of Jews who were known as the Levites. They were the ones who kind of like examined the Jewish law and like what are you supposed to do to be this, really great Jew. And so that also influenced the way he wrote, what he wrote, and how he wrote the letters in the New Testament. And so one of the things that Paul says is to flee fornication. Yes, the Apostle Paul, it has multiple out, and that's what it says in the book. If you look at on my community wall, I put 6 excerpts from the book that I'm reading. And if you look at the second excerpt, it talks about how this lady said, she was trying to listen and read Paul, but Paul had some issues himself. Oh Lord, Lachey. Please, Lord, let Lachey get a good man that's not gonna waste her time. So she don't go to jail. Wait, Jacqueline, you haven't done what since 1999? Oh, you were joking, Chris. Okay. Just like the woman caught at the adulterous situation, the man would never judge its harsh, but also we are talking about Jews here. That's true. But I just noticed that we were all the women here have had the same, I guess, talk or conversation, and we were just kind of wondering, like, okay, did you guys get that same talk in church too? Uh, yeah, you just can't be giving it up to anybody. You're right. Roxanne, you okay? I'm sorry. Just tell me
I'm
to be quiet,
here.
Roxanne.
You've been on the
Just tell me.
road.
Just
I'm
tell me.
here though.
Yeah, just tell me to be quiet, Roxanne. Roxanne. Roxanne.
I'm here.
Well, I have a story, but I'm going across. Okay, Natisha, are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just waiting on you to say something.
Oh, I said I'm here. I said you were on a roll.
Oh, okay. I'm off the roll now. I'm sorry. Natisha, it's okay if you cry. This is a safe space. But if you don't feel like crying right now, you don't have to come up and say anything.
Oh, Natisha.
Life is late. I'm so glad you made it. Do you want to
We.
come up? Life is late. You have anything you want to tell us?
Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. This gonna be good, y'all.
Is Life is late still here? Mm. Good point, Matt Tersides. Man, I told the same stuff. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, Natisha.
My
Natisha?
husband thinks the nastier the better. God help him. Life
Natisha,
is like, come on, hit the link.
no, Natisha hit the link. Natisha, where
Oh,
are you? Natisha, I'm trying to put you on the stream, but it's not letting me. Try it again, Natisha. Yeah, and they don't want to give up their power. That's why all of a sudden now they're feeling like, oh, we're the victim now with this whole Me Too movement. Y'all just gonna say we uh hey Pamela,
What's
life is
going on,
late.
lady? Let me see you. What's up, Roxanne?
hey, hon, how you doing?
I'm good. And you guys?
I'm good. We want to hear some of your stories because we know you got some.
Oh, Lord. So, what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Sex before marriage or nah?
Hmm. It depends. It depends on who you're with, the man that you're with, what he feels about sex. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't have sex before marriage.
Get out of here.
I wouldn't.
Really?
Where you know what? Because it's where I am now in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to me a relationship is more than sex. That's where I'm 53, so that's where my mind is now.
Correct.
Sex is cool. Where I'm talking about where I am now. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay, but I'd rather not have sex until I'm married. But my
Mm-hmm.
partner feels the same way.
Well, then what if then you get married and it's just horrible? You just won't have sex anymore?
Well, that's a hard thing because with me, I mean, when I got married, it was good. It was just other things that happened and went on. You get what I'm saying? But when you love someone, you try to find a way to make it enjoyable. But first, you just have to enjoy just being with that person, period. Like my mother and father, they were married a lot of, 21 years before I came. But then my father ended up becoming impotent because he was on medication.
Right.
So my mother said she had to show him in different ways that she loved him, that she cared for him, and that sex was not a big issue. But she also said that if she never had sex with him again, it was cool. She loved him for the man that he was.
Correct. Intimacy doesn't always have to be sex. So that is true.
And that's what my mother told me. She said, even though we couldn't have sex, the intimacy was just as pleasurable as the sex because we were connected. And they weren't connected from what was between their legs.
Right.
We were connected because of the heart and the love and the respect. And so now I understand that because my partner is older. He's older than I am. I don't know what he looks like naked.
What?
And he doesn't know what I look like naked. But we also have the understanding that we're not going to, if we are going to date, that's fine. We try to set boundaries because he's a man and I'm a woman. And yes, he knows I want him and I know that he wants me, but I don't put him in that situation and he doesn't put me in that situation because we want to be married. Because we want to do it. We've done it the other way. Now we're trying to do it differently.
Oh, I see.
That's what we want to do. Now, if you want to have sex before marriage, that's on you. If that's what you want to do, you do it. But if you're going to be with someone and you feel that it's leading towards marriage, or you're dating someone for a while and it's leading towards marriage, each step of your relationship should have a conversation.
Yeah.
When you meet someone, you like them, you have a vibe for them, you get to feel them, you go out, you enjoying each other, after a while, you will know if that's the right man for you. But to be sexual with that man because you're horny, then you shouldn't try to be in a relationship with anybody.
That's actually very powerful. If you're just wanting, because you're horny,
if you're just
then you shouldn't be in a relationship.
If you just want sex, don't go into a relationship. And be honest with the person, and you can feel. If you've been with a dude, if you done hung out with him for a while, you can tell if he just wants your ass or if he really wants to go further. That's why I said each relationship step should have a conversation. Be real. I like you. I'm vibing you. I just want to have a little something with you. Be real. Why? I mean, if you're grown enough to have sex, be real. And I've done that. I saw someone vibe with them. Hey, you yada, 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 let's do this. You go your way, I go mine. But then when I decided that I wanted to get married, my ex-husband, when I decided that I wanted to get married, I put ground rules down. This is what I want to do. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And
Were you abstinent before you got married to your husband?
I had sex before I was married to my husband.
Okay.
I slept with one man before I had my husband, my first boyfriend.
Okay.
I slept with him. We were together 6 years. And then I met my husband, and then I was with my husband. And yes, after I divorced, I had a couple of men in my life.
Do you see me?
Yeah,
Hey,
Natisha, I see you.
hi.
Can you
Hey, y'all.
How
can you
you
mute yourself or
doing?
cut down the music in the back or the TV in the back?
Oh, hold on.
I just feel
That
like a
my
Jezebel.
my baby.
No, you shouldn't, but and you can feel that way because when you see somebody, and really like them, and you really
Okay.
vibing with them, you want to
Mm-hmm.
be with them
Mm-hmm.
sexually. But then I heard someone talk about soul tie. You
Mm-hmm.
can get a soul tie with a person
Mm-hmm.
because
Well,
Mm-hmm.
when you think,
that's
I'm
why.
sorry.
Yeah, in my 40s, that's why all of that. No, I'm not doing all of that because I understood what a soul tie was and how they formed, and so the older I got, the better I got at it. And
Yeah,
basically, I had just decided I wasn't going to be married anymore, and then I married
that's what I said. No
my
marriage anymore.
ex-husband,
Yeah,
and been happy ever since. But yeah, I just was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
yeah. And see,
It's just unhealthy.
you can get caught up in soul ties because men and women are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
They're two different species. They really are. And I'm not just saying it, but we are. Women are emotional beings. We
Mm-hmm.
do everything out of emotion. We raise our kids out of emotion. We work with, work out of emotion. We have friendships and
Mm-hmm.
people that we're around out of emotion. We do it from the heart.
That's true.
And so when you start talking about soul ties, is when a man and a woman come together, and you can get a soul tie through sex.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they come together, it's like a union. Even if you say you don't, you know how we get with somebody, we break up with them, but our hearts are still there?
Mm-hmm.
That's a soul tie. And you have to really work to get that soul tie off.
You gotta
Because
pray that thing away,
you do. You have
and
to,
it's not easy.
because it's fair to meet someone else and get with them and then treat them ugly because you have a soul tie with someone else. You're bringing out what
Mm-hmm.
you have against
Yep.
someone else on a really good man.
Mm.
So you have to clean yourself from all soul ties because you just don't get one. We have all had sex with men. I mean, with men, more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we have those ties, even if they're going on about their business and they're doing their lives, get with someone else, and they say one little thing that was just like Ray Ray, you go off
Mm-hmm.
because that's still a soul tie. It
Yep,
took
that's
me
so
4
true.
years to get rid of soul ties.
Mm.
And sometimes with my partner now, I feel it coming up and I'll snap. I'll say something and I'll say, oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells me, I'm not them.
Mm-hmm.
I have showed you. So, you really have to be careful. We as women have to be careful because we are lonely. We're tired of pulling everything ourselves. We're tired of raising kids by ourselves. We're tired of paying bills all by ourselves. But you'd rather be an independent woman than a slave. And
Yeah,
one
Mm-hmm.
thing
that's
you don't
true.
want to do is be a slave to sex because sex cannot cure your pain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. That'll make
You
it
have to
worse.
cure your pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sorry if I'm preaching.
No, no,
It's
no. We needed
true.
to
It's
hear it.
true.
Now, Life is Late. Did you hear about Monie No Love's friend from earlier? Or did you come after that?
I came after.
Okay, so Monie No Love said that her friend is married, and but her friend has a can get pregnant, but she can't. She keeps having miscarriages. So her friend has been to a marriage counselor,
Hmm.
but it has not worked. Her friend does not want to have sex with her husband.
Hmm. Well, there's a.
Her
Oh, I'm
friend
sorry.
her friend sleeps on the couch. The husband sleeps in the bedroom.
Yes, there is something that is going on within between the two of them that they together have to work out. Because here's a woman you marry. See, a lot of people. How can I say this? You get it, you get the ring, you're with someone, you're excited, but the honeymoon at a point has to end.
Mm-hmm.
And you, with your partner, you have to understand that everything is not going to be like the wedding was. We marry because people, you're healthy, you're young, or whatever, you marry. But can you think in your mind like this woman? She keeps having miscarriages. Her husband should have thought before what would happen. What would happen if you marry someone and they become, as she is, she can't have children? Now it's a problem, but nobody thought about these things. Wonder if
Well, it's
somebody have
the
to go
problem
wheelchair.
isn't that she can't have children because they ended up adopting children, so that was fine. The problem is now she just doesn't want to have sex.
And you just said sex is not the end all be all. It's just one. It's okay that you and your partner are not having it until you get married. But this lady is married and
And the
she
thing
don't want to have
is
it.
that there is, and she doesn't want to try to have children anymore.
No, no. She doesn't want to have sex. The children are not an issue.
Why did, but yeah, okay, so if she doesn't want to have sex, there's a reason why she doesn't want to have sex. There's something in her mind that's telling her, I don't want to have sex with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have sex with my husband because it's not good. Or I don't want to have sex with my husband because I'm not sexually attracted. There's something going on with her.
Yeah, I think it's the trauma of the miscarriages.
I think so too.
That's the next thing that I was gonna say. I think it was the trauma. And she has a trauma in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to have sex with her husband because she may be afraid I might get pregnant again and have
Yep.
another miscarriage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
That's
a
true.
need for her to get counseling for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when my ex-husband cheated on me and made a baby, I felt like less of a woman because I didn't have it. I couldn't give him a child. I was told that I wouldn't be able to have children. And he knew this. So there was a trauma for me. And I had to get some help with that. And years later, at 46, I ended up having a baby.
Mm.
You know, so I believe that there's something within her head that's telling her, if I have sex with him, I'll get pregnant again. I have another miscarriage, and boom, here we go again. Because
Mm-hmm.
the miscarriage was a trauma for her. Because if she loved her husband enough, she wanted to have children with him.
Mm-hmm.
Most women do. They want to give their husbands children. And maybe they went to marriage counseling. Am I correct?
Yeah, they did, and actually therapist broke up with them because she wouldn't
She wouldn't
make
open
any
up.
changes. Yeah, she wouldn't make
Yeah.
any changes.
Because there's something in her. If you want if you're in a marriage, just like Roxanne and her husband, if they're in a marriage, you try to fix you. If something happens, you try to fix you. You don't always come together in good times. You come together in bad too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know you're really connected to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be your friend in your happiness and not be your friend in your sadness. And that's the way with a relationship.
Mm-hmm. That is so
you
true.
have to be bonded.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll know when that is the person. You will know even if that's the person that's just supposed to be a companion.
Mm-hmm.
If my mate never tells me he wants to get married, I know that I could be a good companion to him and he'll be a good companion to me because we've been there in good times and bad. There's nothing I can't tell him. There's, anything. I can tell him anything. I've told him my traumas. I told him about, my past relationships. I told him.
Yep. That makes for a good marriage.
Life was like,
Yes,
Monie
I'm sorry,
also
I was
said
just
said her friend uses sex toys,
okay.
but doesn't have sex with her husband. So, like you just pointed out something. Is she satisfied with the husband?
No, she can't get pregnant with the sex toys.
That's true, but
I just believe that she and her husband, that's cool to go to a marriage counselor, but she needs a therapist.
I
I
agree
do
with
believe
you.
that. I believe that she needs a therapist because she is going through a trauma that has disconnected her from her husband. And then once she starts getting help and start opening up and telling all of her feelings and how she feels, I believe she'll be more connected to her husband. Then they can start with the marriage counseling and then they can come back together to try to make it work.
Yeah, that's true.
And she probably
Because you
should have
can't
had
make a
grief
marriage work
counseling.
with just what she needs grief
Yeah,
counseling because she's
yeah.
grief. Because if she does not help herself, she cannot come back together with her husband.
That's true.
And then they can do family counseling, and then she can tell how she feels, and then he can tell how he feels, and then maybe they can start to get a connection back together. She needs to hear from her husband. It's okay if you had the miscarriages. It doesn't mean that I don't love you any less. I'm here with you. We got 2 adopted children. We're good. But she feels like less of a woman. She does. And I believe she uses that. I think somebody said she was using a sex toy. I believe she's using that sex toy because she feels that I can get satisfied by this, but not pregnant.
Yeah.
But here's her husband, and he ain't getting nothing. Natasha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. I'm just
sorry.
listening.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you helping. That's what this show is about, to help those that are hurting, because if us women don't come together to talk about it, then we would still remain where we at mentally and emotionally and physically. And I'm 41, and I wish I had someone to talk to. as a little girl because I was molested in the church,
So was I.
and I was trying to tell my mother, like, you know, when pastors starting to have an open rebuke, when you brought up in a Pentecostal holiness church, you know, they made the children leave. So it was a playroom, and I never forget this guy. He had a little sister the same age that I was, and when there was other children, he wouldn't do this, but when it was just his sister, he would make his sister lay down. And
Good Lord.
but then he will start touching me, you know, in areas that I didn't know, you know, what it was, the functioning of what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he took out his pipe and just put it in my mouth.
Oh, Father God.
And
Who is this? Who is this talking?
This is Natisha.
and I never,
Sorry, I know it hurts. It does hurt to be in.
never had nobody to talk
I
to.
know. I understand because
Natisha,
I
I've
was
been through the
molested in
same
the church
thing.
also,
I never,
and I was the pastor's daughter. So when you get molested, you're the pastor's daughter. You're scared that you're going to break up the church. You're scared that people are going to say something to you and look at you wrong, and so you shut up. My parents died
Mm.
knowing.
because that's what he told me. He said, if you tell somebody, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
at the age of 37, I finally told my grandmother what
Yeah.
happened to me. But in the meantime, my mom, she met this guy. He was brought up in church too, but he was abusive to her. And my mom changed ever since she met this guy because they had children together. And, you know, I felt like I was a slave to my mother because I was trying to tell her. So I don't know if everyone saw the video on Facebook where the little girl was giving head to the guy. This video went viral.
Yeah,
And
teenager, right?
no, it was a little girl. There was a little girl. She was like literally on her knees giving him head. And it went viral all over Facebook and people was looking for this guy to kill him. And
Oh.
I dropped the phone and my mother looked at me. She said, is this what happened to you? And I said, yes, this what happened to me.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, my mom, you know, with this guy that she was with, which is her husband today. I mean, I seen a lot that my mom did. She got abused. Like he would just hit on her.
Later.
Um, you know, I would see my mom eye black
Yeah. She
and
was.
you know, black and blue. And I'm not understanding. It's like, why would you still take this guy back? And I had sense enough, like I knew this was not right. But she
Mm-hmm.
had kids, so when you know you have kids by a person, oh, I'm gonna be faithful, and not knowing, like when she tells her story today, she would never mention me that I was with her throughout that. My brother, me and him is 13 years apart, and I
Mm-hmm.
never forget. At nighttime, she would yell my name, call the cops, because I would hear them rumbling in the next room. The whole room was tore up. And she would tell me because on Sundays my grandparents came and got me for church. You know, a Saturday night, you know how you go to Sunday school the next day,
Yeah.
and she would tell you, um, don't you say nothing to your grandparents or I'm going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
So having to deal with me being molested and then my mom just hitting on me like a punching bag. I mean,
Have you ever? I don't mean to interrupt you, but have you ever thought about going to counseling yourself?
yeah, I have.
but
need
I
to,
just try to deal with it the best way I can.
no, you need to go
That's not
somewhere
gonna
where
work,
someone can,
Natisha.
Yeah, you're gonna need to go
you
to
need to go
therapy.
somewhere and go to therapy and sit down with someone that is neutral and that will listen to you because you have so much pinned up that you
Mm-hmm.
let it go because you said you had no one to talk to. And at your age, you're still holding this childhood trauma.
Yeah. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
long time to be holding something in.
You're in childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I understand. I'm in counseling myself.
Me too.
And yeah, I'm in counseling myself, and so is my
Me
daughter.
three.
Yeah. And so well, first of all, I want to say you're not alone.
Yeah, you're
There
not.
are
Mm-mm.
millions and millions of men and women that have gone through what you've gone through. And don't feel like a victim. You have been a victim, but you're going to heal yourself. And you need to find
Mm-hmm.
this that you can just sit down and just let it out. Whatever you want to say, whatever.
And you
Mm-hmm.
feel so much better.
You
You'll
Mm-hmm.
do.
feel so much better.
Because what happened to you in childhood, it affects you physically. What
Yeah.
you do through adulthood affects you physically.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a life to live. And you can't allow this person that's going on about their business to control you and keep you in a cage.
Another day. Another day.
And that's why
Don't
my
give them
son,
another day.
Because you're crying because you're hurt
Mm-hmm.
and you feel trapped.
because
And
I
you are
just
not
want
an,
my
you
mom
are
to
not an animal.
love
You're a
me.
strong woman. You are not an animal. And you
You
should
said
be free.
you said you just want your mom to love you?
Yes, because both of my parents, my mom was on drugs and my dad was never in the picture. So I promised myself, if God ever blessed me with a kid, I would never leave my child's side. And I've been there since day one.
See,
My
you
son is my
go to
light.
counseling and get
Well, your
some help.
mom probably doesn't. Your mom may not know
Know
how to
how.
love you, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not you. That's not your
Your
issue.
fault. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That's her issue.
Amen.
But I always blame myself because I felt like I couldn't protect her.
That's not
Yeah.
your
But it was
job.
not
But
your
That
that's
wasn't
job.
your
not
You're
your
a
job.
job.
child.
Mm-mm.
Parents are
That's not
supposed
your
to protect
job as a child.
their children,
Exactly.
Exactly.
not the other way around.
She made a decision.
Mm-hmm.
She made a choice. And when she made that choice, for whatever reason it was,
Mm-hmm.
you were affected. But you do not have to be controlled because of her decisions.
Nope. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Her
And
why
you have a
decisions should
blessing
be.
right there in your house for
And
you
if
to
she
love on.
chooses,
you're
and if
my
she chooses,
baby.
mm-hmm.
He's my
Because you
light.
understand, with the trauma that you've gone through, you don't want it to affect your child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you need to get the help you need. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I
Mm-hmm.
went into counseling. I went into counseling because I needed help so my child wouldn't be affected. My child went through a lot of things with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, I'm trying to help my child as well as myself. And I know it's a lot. It's a struggle. It's a challenge. But as a strong woman, which I know you are, and if you don't feel strong, you are. And
It's
as a
okay,
strong
Natisha.
woman, you pick up the pieces and you put the puzzle back together and you make your own life.
That's right. You can have a
cannot live in
happy
the
life,
past.
Natisha. You just have to fight for one.
Yeah,
mean,
you're just existing. No one deserves to have to exist. You are
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
this
That's not
life.
living.
Yes, you are existing and you are hurting. And it's time for the hurt to stop. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, no,
You
no,
don't
baby.
have to be sorry.
On this
You're nothing to be
platform,
sorry
you
for.
don't have to be sorry because me,
These are how
Roxanne, and
these are
And
your feelings, and they're
uh,
valid.
exactly. And see what like I said before. Let me see your transcript, Roxanne, and myself, and a lot of people that are listening, if not all, have been through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not alone.
And that's what my whole channel is going to be about. Healing and helping. My whole channel is going to be revolve around that. But the
Healing.
first, but you can't get help. I can't heal you.
That's it.
I can't do that. So the first step is that we need to find you somewhere to get you into counseling.
Exactly.
And then you can come and participate with us, because the best help that I've ever gotten is when I was on top of my own shit, searching for help, searching for different answers, reading different books, listening to other people, doing group counseling, you know? So you're not alone. You're not
No, you're
alone,
not
Natisha.
alone, Natisha. No, you're
And
not
it
alone.
feels so good just
You
to.
got 3 women that's on here that have been through some shit. I don't know it all. It's not my business to know it all. But I know because they're human. And we have all felt like we were just
I
in a
live in New
box.
Jersey.
We have nobody.
Okay.
But you got somebody. That's why I listen to Daryl. That's why I listen to Mad Church Disease and Let Me See Your. I can't wait for Roxanne to come, because when I listen, I get information
Right.
that can help me.
And that's why I've been applying for what, this show. Let me see your transcript. You have no idea the doors that you have opened to so many women just by your platform. Because, like everyone was saying in the comments, we didn't really have a voice in the church. I mean, I seen these pastors call my mom a Jezebel. And so many names. Like, she got called a whore. She got accused of, she was home asleep. And, when old school mothers, they believed everything that the pastor said. They believed everything. And my mom, I never forget that night, my grandmother came home having another sermon. And I never forget that she ran down the stairs and just kept running. She called me from a payphone. She said, "I'll be back from you." Because my grandmother controlled her. She didn't have a life. She couldn't go to the movies. She couldn't do nothing. So it's like, I guess she felt like if she controlled me, but I probably want her to. She has 4 children altogether. I'm her oldest. And I guess I'm one of those that's rebellious, because I'm like, you're not going to control me like you control your other 3.
When I think about these kind of things that you're talking about, Natasha, and I see, because I live in California, and so I was thinking one night, I said the East Coast and the West Coast, as far as church, because I grew up Baptist.
Okay.
So we didn't have it like the Kojic. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We weren't that strict. When I was going to my father fellowship, he went to Kojic churches, he preached, they came over to us, but they were totally different. You couldn't wear short dresses. You couldn't wear makeup. You couldn't wear earrings. You couldn't. So when we went to the Kojic church, here we are walking in high heel shoes, makeup, earrings, and hell, maybe a tattoo, and they were totally different than us because they were so strict. My mother, I thank God for my mother. I do. Because she taught me a lot of things, and the Church of God in Christ were just strict.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They loved their pastors. And the Baptists did too. People loved my father because of his walk, though. You get what I'm saying? And the church has become a breeding ground for this kind of behavior. And here we are, years and years out of church, and like Natasha and like myself, we're dealing with molestation.
We got to be healed from
is
what happened to us in church.
About it. They're going to church, they're hooping and hollering, they jumping and shouting in their girls' dresses and their little boys' drawers.
That's so true. But Natisha, I want you to know that your mother can't do any better. Your mother, or I'm not going to say can't. Your mother has not done, she's only done what she's been taught.
Right.
So, you know, you want her, because even though you were taught that way, you've done better. She was taught the way she was, and it seems like that's what she does. You know, but you have to stop internalizing her actions onto yourself. It has nothing to do with you.
Nothing.
It could have been. It could have been.
Break that generational curse, so it won't be a child.
You be a better mother. You do the opposite of what she. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I kind of overdid it, but.
And I'm so happy. My little 9-year-old is like, he said, "Mommy, I wish I had to give you the world because you always take care of me." And I said, "That's Mommy's job." And I told him, when he gets older, I said, "You'll work one day and be responsible." I said, "But I would not have you overwhelmed because, you know, it's just a lot that's going on." You know, even
and that little boy is
you're right, Dee Dee.
Smart.
Smart. That back up. Let me see your transcript. Dee Dee 8 said.
Okay.
Dee Dee, hi. I'm sorry.
Exactly, Dee Dee.
Right here it says your mother can't give you what she doesn't have.
Never have.
Right.
And she can't. But it's not a reflection.
And
not a reflection
it's
of
wrong.
you.
You know all of this that went on was wrong, right? That's where you got to draw the line.
Right.
That was wrong, but what am I going to do right for mine?
Right.
Exactly.
And that's why my son is my world. My son is my world. When I said my world, he's my world. I would kill for mine.
Focus on.
And
I listened to that little boy talk, but wasn't even 2 minutes, I don't think. And I could see your influence on your child.
Yeah.
And it was a good one.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job at raising
Yes, you are. You're doing an awesome job.
The only thing that I don't want you to do is hold on to this and it affects him in any way, because that's your baby. And what hurts you hurts him. And you can't let that line that was drawn keep you from doing what you have to do for you and your son. You have to let the past go so you and your son can have a future.
Exactly. Right. A good, healthy future.
Is the word I'm trying to find.
Right. It was so many sacrifices that I, you know, because he was born with so many medical issues. So it was a lot of sacrifices, but I am returning to school October 23rd.
Congratulations.
Yeah, pharmaceutical health.
When you start looking at all the good things that you're doing, you're raising your son, you're going to school, you're trying to walk the right path, you don't have time to look at your past.
And cry. You don't have time to do that. You really don't.
You know.
Yeah. But therapy will help you.
Exactly.
Therapy will help you with the tools so that you don't stay there.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot live in that. I'm burning down that house for you tonight. That house is burnt in the name of Jesus. It's burnt.
Amen.
And there's four of us, and we all agree. And everybody in the chat I know agrees as well.
It's burnt. Everybody in the chat, whatever you going through, you do what you got to do you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call you on Monday, and we're gonna find you somebody.
Okay.
What part of New
Thank you, Roxanne.
Jersey? Well, just text Roxanne to let her know what part of New Jersey you live in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get with you on Monday because I need to know your insurance information and all of that. But I'll help
Okay.
you find someone.
And I want to say to you, and I want to celebrate you because for you to come on here and drop all of that,
Mm-hmm.
that was
That took
strong.
a,
You're
that took a
strong.
lot of courage.
It took a lot of courage and it helped a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people because I know a lot of people in the chat have gone through what you've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they
And
now know they are not alone either.
no, you're not. I'm here to tell you. I mean, it was just a lot of prayer, because I never forget this lady. Her name was Linda Kidd, and me and her became so close until she moved to Florida, and she helped me get through so much because I didn't know her. We was just at the bus stop. I was on my way to work and she was on her way to the doctor. And, she shared what she's been through. And, every morning she always had a story for me. And she said something about you. And she said, you're going to be a great mother one day. And I never forget what she said to me, not knowing that a year later I was pregnant with my son.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
what he been through physically is making me actually push forward
Mm-hmm.
because he overcame so much. Me and him almost died. Um,
Mm.
he had Vater syndrome, and what Vater syndrome is, he was born without an anus. Um, he had an enlarged kidney, uh, two holes in his heart. The day that he was born, he had to go to the OR, to operating room, because his windpipe and esophagus was crossed. It was blocking him from swallowing. So
Mm.
if
Mm.
you look at him now, you can't even tell that he has been through multiple surgeries.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So to see your baby with tubes and everything, I think that traumatized me too. Because
Yeah.
it's like, my first baby, he had to go through so much. His intestines were out of his abdomen. So,
Mm.
and
How is he
then
now?
he's doing great.
Yeah.
He's transitioning out of special education. He's in self-contained classes. So with that, I mean, he's doing very well. I get weekly reports, and he has
Mm-hmm.
all A's and B's.
That's
See that
So
great.
when
fifth
you
grade,
when you go through things in your life that are traumatizing, which you have, and you look at the things that you have now,
hmm
that's a blessing.
yes,
And that's what you need to focus on. You
Mm-hmm.
had a child that went through all of that. And now he's 9 years old and he's doing well. That's
yeah,
a blessing. Focus on the good things
yes.
that are happening in your life. And I guarantee when you look back on everything else that you've been through, it can't compare.
hmm
Yep. And my goal for you is next year this time,
It's going to be a difference.
you'll be on my channel
Mm-hmm.
doing
Yes,
exactly what we're doing for you
Yeah.
yes.
Telling somebody else, pull through. You can make it.
and
Mm-hmm.
telling them what you've been through and giving them your testimony and
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
helping someone else.
Helping
Yeah.
You'll
somebody
be
else.
reaching back to help. That's what
And
it's all
before,
about.
I didn't think that I had a voice. I didn't think that I
Child,
was able
You
please.
to tell,
do.
You
but
do.
now I do, and I feel so free that I'm able to help someone
Yep.
because I have a friend. He's in the military. He'll be home soon, 2021, and I helped him get through that stage in his life because he was molested.
Mm.
So it's like I think my problem is I always care about others and neglect myself. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I just
No,
want to
I've
be
done
the
it too.
best.
You're
I've
an empath.
done the same thing. Help
You're
folks
Yeah.
an
and
empath.
turn
That's
in.
what that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is.
I just
yeah.
want to see the best for everybody. And always heard a pastor say, while you helping others, God will work your situation out. And I
And
totally
in
have
your case,
believed
that's
that,
true.
you know, because I've seen him work a lot of things out for me. Doors
Exactly.
that was closed because I'm like, God, how I'm gonna do this? But I called. I'm like, are you accepting applications for school? Because I know, with this COVID in New Jersey, it was just hard to get in school
Mm-hmm.
at one point. So they say, yeah, you're gonna come in on the 23rd to take a pre-test, and like, what do you want to major in? I said pharmacist tech because there's just so many things that we need to know about, a lot of medications that we're taking. And I was just, looking into that because I just want to have a career before I close my eyes.
Yeah.
My son, he'll be grown because I'm, always preparing him now because he, talk about death a lot. And I said, well, if mommy close her eyes, just know that I'll always be in your heart. And I said, I'm always there. And he looked at me, he had me laughing today. He said, Mommy, you ain't going nowhere no time soon.
Mm.
But I mean,
I,
that's
I'm going to
he
say this
was so
maybe
much.
about time back, but my daughter, because I've been training her and teaching her, life. She's 15,
Right.
and I told her, I said, I need you, because she asked me, she said, Mom, why are you so hard on me? And I said, I'm really not hard. I just
Mm,
want you prepared for life. I said, because mama won't always be with you,
Yeah.
right.
She,
Mhm.
she said, you too mean to die.
Ooh.
Yes.
I told her, COVID-19, go to your room.
Ooh.
Go to your room.
Yes. Because this
But
one,
it's
I said
just
it's
that,
so yeah.
we're trying to teach ourselves, we're trying to teach others. And it is true, when you have people that are really, when you are the kind of person that helps someone else,
Mhm.
then God will help you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
always does. Because I was so angry because it's like I've helped so many people and it seemed like they dogged me and they threw me under the bus. And
Mhm.
one night I was just laying here and I heard, I believe it was God say, I got you on my mind.
Mm.
Mm.
And I said, okay, if that's you, God, I got you. And I was laying here again the other week and I heard it again. I got you on my mind. And I got a call that I was waiting for.
Mm.
And God just moved so tremendously in my life with this case that I was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me to understand that I am on his mind.
Mhm.
Every
Mhm.
my life may not go the way I want to, but it always works out the way I need it to.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. How about that? Mm.
Mm.
It
You said
always
something
does.
there.
That's
I mean,
yeah.
I know I cuss and y'all say that I'm, the cussing one on Facebook, I mean, on YouTube and all of that. But I know I got a relationship with the man.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. You
That's
If
the
do.
I
most
never
part.
stepped, because I've been out of church 3 years because of
Mm.
my health and everything, because I was a musician in church for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Got arthritis, I couldn't go. But I got more Jesus in my house, in my kitchen, in my bathroom, and my living room than I've got
Mm-hmm.
in church.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That is so true.
And so don't worry about what you've done for other people. Just know that God got something for you.
Yep.
Exactly. For you.
Amen to that.
Because when the old
With
folks used to
Natisha
say he
Giles'
may
name
not
on it.
come when you want it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's right on time. And
Time.
what, like Kim said, what's for you is for you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be a walking testimony. We're supposed to be out here trying to help people that may be somewhere holding a gun and about to blow their brains out. Or about to take a handful of pills and take some pills because life has gotten too hard. So here you got a platform where people care and care for others, and we can try to help something. Like I got a YouTube channel, look. But you know what I'm saying? I love these late night talks. I like to listen to the other YouTubers. I do, because it helps.
Right. But you know what? What I'm hoping that happens is that when we have a new person that comes into the group, and I've heard somebody's story, and I can say, okay, today Life is Late, I need you to get online so we can talk to this person. Or Natisha, I need you to come and talk to this person. Or you know, so it's not just my platform. I want it to be a platform for all of us.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
Women supporting women.
I want, and I'm not going on YouTube, but what I want for is, I'm not being partial to the women, but there are women out here hurting.
Yes.
And they are afraid to express how they feel.
Right.
But it's time for us to say, I'm not going to live in this shell anymore.
Right.
I'm living in the shell and the world is passing me by. There's something out there for me and I'm breaking out of this shell and I'm going to get it. I've been molested. I've been physically abused. I came up in a home that was, dysfunctional. Whatever it is, you need to talk about it.
And abuse is abuse. It doesn't even have to be sexual abuse. Any kind of
abuse.
A broken plate is a broken plate.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to deal with it all. But y'all, I have to get off this phone.
Okay.
My husband is looking at me like I'm lost.
We love you, husband, too.
Hey, Jay.
Dee Dee, I look forward to seeing you there. Miss Medina, thank you very much for the money you sent. I'm gonna put it towards my mic.
And Sonia, if you're here, and Christine.
Thank everybody. Y'all just thank you for
Life is Late for coming and giving your insight.
Thank you, Miss Life is Late,
for sharing.
Oh, I love you guys so much. I do.
Thank you all. I can't believe we've been on here over 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Running it down, huh?
Okay. Well, you ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Let me put in the book in the link again. It's $9.72 paperback on Amazon, but for Kindle it's $5.99. And I really have been enjoying this book, Sex and the Church Girl. So Natisha, Roxanne's gonna get with you
on
Monday. Okay. Everybody, y'all have a good night, the rest of your night, or good morning. Okay.
It's 10:40. I'm hungry now.
I'm kind of hungry too. It's 12:41 here.
I feel like a preacher trying to get a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
Y'all
Good night.